Hello my loves and welcome to my channel. My name is Lily and today I'm setting up the month of March 2022. And this month's theme is tea. Because of my fibromyalgia, my body can't handle coffee anymore, so I switched over to tea about 3 years ago. Which I don't really have a problem with since I love tea, but sometimes I do miss the coffee. On the quote page I wrote, "You can never get a cup of tea big enough or a book long enough to suit me," which is a quote by the great author C.S. Lewis, who wrote The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which later became the movie Narnia. I use this focal calligraphy style where I fill in the letters since I'm using a fine line pen. The pen that I mostly use in all my setups is the Unipin fine liner in the size 0.2. I always set everything up with a pencil before I go in with a pen, mainly to see how everything looks and if I have to move anything by a few dots so it's more centered or fits better with the setup. Then when I'm satisfied, I go over everything with a pen. For my little doodles, I'm using the Faber-Castell double-ended fill tip pen. They have a fine liner on one end and a broad liner on the other, but they're not like brush pens, just broad. I also use the Staedtler Tri Plus fine liner pens. After I decide what I'm going to draw, I go over each set of pens to find the perfect colors. On the cover page I put a cup of tea and a couple of books to go with the quote on the left. Next is the monthly calendar. It's the first one of the year that is only on one page and not over the whole spread. Each day has a box of 5 dots down and 4 dots across. With such a small calendar, it's great to use a key. You could, for example, have a circle for doctor's appointments, a box for classes, a triangle for special occasions, or something along those lines. On the next page, I put a to-do list and a space to put up my monthly goals. I always like to have a lot of space for my goals so I can break them down into smaller tasks. The rest of the quotes are all something I found on Pinterest, but I use Pinterest a lot when finding inspiration for new setups and themes for my bullet journals. The first one on this spread says, "I realize I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but not everyone has good taste," which I just love. And the next one says, "If asked how do you take your tea, I reply, seriously, very seriously." And I think I might have seen the same quote for coffee somewhere. Then we have doodles of different teacups and kettles. For these doodles, I also use Tombow Dual brushes from Flying Tiger Copenhagen. Next up we have the brain dump. I don't really put doodles on that page when I set it up, because it's a good space to doodle something throughout the month. But I did write down rainy days should be spent at home with a cup of tea and a good book. On the next page is the monthly mood tracker, which for this month is in the form of tea bags, and then I swipe different shades of orange, red and brown for different moods. Last but not least, the first weekly spread of the month. There we have a small monthly calendar, a habit tracker, a box for each day in the size 14 dots down and 13 across, a space for doodles and a weekly to-do list in the Alistair setup. And the quote for this spread reads, "A day without tea is like..." Just kidding, I have no idea. Which of course can also be used for coffee. And now for the final flip through. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope this video and my other bullet journal videos give you inspiration for your own journaling. Bye for now.